Jesus said, "Man cannot live on bread alone, but from every word that proceeds from the mouth of God." You're listening to Daily Truth.
Now, how do we wage this spiritual war? That flesh and blood are not our ultimate enemy, but they are enlisted by our enemy. How do we wage this war? Is this the Spanish Crusades? Is that the kind of Christendom that I'm talking about? No. The way that we win this war, it's very simple. Number one, preach the gospel. Preach the gospel. There is no other name in heaven or on earth by which men can be saved but the name of Jesus Christ. We preach the gospel. That's the sword. That's a double-edged sword, sharper than any double-edged sword. It cuts through bone and marrow, spirit and soul. We preach the gospel. And what we do, just like strategic warfare, if we're going to storm the beaches of Normandy, and we're going to set up a beachhead, an HQ, the HQ is churches. Gospel preaching, Bible believing churches. So the first thing you do when you roll into town is you plant a church. Now, that established, gospel is number one. Beyond that, what do? The very next thing you do is you start a school. You have to take back education. You have to. You cannot send your children to Caesar and be surprised when they come back as Romans, Bodhi Bacham once said. So you start a church and you preach. You start a school and you teach. And you teach the next generation. Beyond that, what do? You start businesses. You build wealth. And you do your very best, as far as the Lord equips you and allows in His providence for you to do so, you do your very best to not be severed from your labor. To not just be an employee who is paid for your labor, but you want to own your labor. You want to own every ounce of intellectual property, every idea you have, every phone call you make. You want to own it. And then, beyond owning concepts and intellectual property and your work, you want to own land. Buy dirt. You want to own land. You don't want to own nothing and be happy. You don't want to own real estate in Meta. You want to own land in this world, the one that Christ died for, the one that matters. So you start a church, you start a school, you start a business, you buy a house, you buy some land, you buy, if you can, another house, and then another one. And in this sense, this is how we're waging war. Gospel first and foremost, but practically living out the implications of Christ's victory, both the implications of His gospel and His law in practical obedience in this world. Not just Jesus' private lordship of my sweet little heart, but Jesus, Lord of all. Lord of all. Lord of politics. Lord of economics. Lord of the arts. Lord of everything. And we live that out. And how do we win? We win slowly over time.
All right. Stop twisting my arm. I know you want to hear the inside scoop. Here it is, the glorious vision of Right Response Ministries for the first half of next year, 2023. We have not one, not two, but three massive endeavors that we will accomplish by the grace of God. The first you already know about. It's our Theonomy and Postmillennialism Conference, May 5th, 6th, and 7th, with James White, Joe Boot, Gary DeMar, Dale Partridge, and yours truly, Pastor Joel Webbin. This is selling out incredibly fast. By the time this commercial airs, you may not even be able to get a ticket. I really don't know. So don't waste another moment. Go to rightresponseconference.com, rightresponseconference.com to join us for the Theonomy and Postmillennialism Conference next year. Now, this is where you come in. We need your help. Our next two endeavors are, number one, a documentary-style film, and number two, a brand new studio. Both of these things are seeking to accomplish one primary goal, which is excellent, high-quality, glorious Christian media. We are tired of as Christians doing things poorly. We've done our best with what we have, but by God's grace, we want to do even better. This is not going to be just another video. This is not going to be a sermon or an interview or a podcast, but we're going to make a documentary style film. And we're going to be hiring Nathan Anderson, the director of On Earth as It Is in Heaven, a very, very successful post-millennialism documentary that's on Amazon and YouTube, came out a couple years ago. He's going to be flying in from Chile to help us direct this film. And our documentary is going to be on postmillennialism and theonomy, why it's biblically valid, why it's absolutely necessary, and why, by the grace of God, theonomy and postmillennialism are currently on the rise. So we're going to make this film, and we need your support. And not just this film, but we're going to make all of our videos and podcasting and everything we do here at Right Response Ministries better. We want to achieve the highest level of quality and Christian excellence that we possibly can. That's where the new studio comes in. This new film, our date that we're shooting for is that it would be complete and publicly available in May or June of 2023, next year. The studio, our goal is that it would be completely done in its construction and the equipment and the setup and the stage and everything by January, February of 2023 next year. We need your prayers. We need your encouragement. And for those of you who are willing to do so, we need your generous support. You can give towards these endeavors by going to rightresponseministries.com/donate. Again, that's rightresponseministries.com/donate. Thank you so much for all your help. God bless.